this year, really tight margins, really easy for us to try and pull back on things. And I think that means that soil sampling is more important than ever before. Really, it's the only way we have to gauge what's happening in the soil profile and what things we need to pay attention to. And so I think it's going to be really important as we do that to keep that in mind, to maintain the discipline of doing soil fertility, even though it's a little bit costly and it's hard to make things cash flow, to make sure we're paying attention to some of those big three, pH, P, and K. And then the other thing that I've kind of talked about when it comes to soil fertility is if you're going through the field this year and you're picking corn and you have areas that are high, areas that are low, or areas that surprise you, as you're collecting those samples, it might be interesting to see what's happening soil fertility wise in those regions, to consider those units, and that might help guide you to some things that might help elevate or at least pull up that bottom range in some of those locations. So I think one of the things that really has surprised me about this season is how far north southern rust has made its way. Several years ago, we would have thought about in the central part of the state, southern rust as a late disease. It would come in late enough in that crop's life cycle that it really wouldn't impact yield. It's got here earlier and earlier and now does represent a yield reducing issue. And it's really intriguing how far north we're seeing that. I was up in Wisconsin here this last week and they're dealing with southern rust up there, which is really strange. That's not really a major disease for them. And yet this year they had the kind of conditions, an early pull in of those spores, that kind of spore shower from the south, that really let them see that yield reducing disease in kind of a bigger way than what they might have expected.